If we could just let it all go, if we could just snap out of it, we would all be a lot healthier and happier. So, welcome to Superhero Sunday. I'm Sam. So, let's dive into this today. Just waiting for a few people to jump in here. So, this is a good time to relax, to settle in, to take a fully aware breath of letting it all go so we can be here in this moment. A fully aware breath is to realize that you're breathing, that you're sitting, that you're here now in this moment. So today we're going to talk about these mental addictions. That's why I was talking at the beginning. If we could just snap out of it, we can just let go. But we're not usually able to do this because we're caught in this loop, this thought stream. So we really want to learn to release all of this. So if you see a few people jumping in here, so thanks for watching today. And let's dive in to see why we're addicted to these thoughts, these stories. So why do we take the beliefs that we're not good enough as our truth? Or I don't have the skills to do this as our truth? Or I'm not the right age, I'm not the right sex, I don't have the right degree. It just goes on and on and on. All this is head trash. So thanks for watching, Dally and Sandy. So we're all about releasing the head trash. We get to realize that spirit knows nothing of stress, anxiety, worry. It's all byproducts of the mind overthinking things, trying to figure things out, over analyzing. But once again, it's about realizing that you are not your thoughts. Your mind is simply a tool to help you move forward through life, like how to support us, how to feed ourselves, these types of things. That's where the mind comes in handy. So we just want to continue to relax here. That relaxing is the way to health. Is by letting yourself be grounded, to be here in this moment, to realize you are sitting, listening, feet on the floor, to realize we can either be in the mind or aware of our sensations. It's really this simple. But we're so caught up in our mental stories, the mental addictions, which I consider the most harmful force in the universe, is our own mental addictions. Because our thoughts do create our reality. So maybe you're not able to get to happiness, joy. Maybe it's too big a leap for you. So we just need to focus on being at peace in this moment. And what does that mean to be at peace at this moment? To accepting, it's about accepting the situation as it is, that this is happening right now, but not protesting, saying this should not be here, this experience should not be happening. So it's not about denying anything, it's about accepting the current experience, then realizing that I'm in body, I can change the situation. What's the one step I can take right now to change that path of that experience? I can sit there and dwell it and say, well, this is terrible, this is horrible, make it all stop. And it's not going to stop, it's actually going to magnify and get worse. Because what you focus on expands. So our words have lots of power, lots of we're directing consciousness a certain way with our thoughts. So we just need to be aware that our thoughts are creating our reality, because the universe is always saying yes to me, because I am connected with the universe. We cannot separate you and the universe. That essence, that energy is one and the same. So there's no separation. So this mental addictions create separation. It reminds me of the Eckhart Tolle story where he kept saying, I can't live with myself. I can't live with myself. I can't live with myself. Then he just stopped and he's like, who's the I can't live with? And then that was his spiritual awakening, to realize the I, the personality, the identity is this mental noise that we're so identified with. That is the garbage. This is what we need to throw out. And I was very sick because I believed these thoughts to be my truth. So I suffered for nearly 40 years because of that, with all these health challenges, from bipolar to multiple sclerosis to just all these issues, because I had a lot of self-hate, a lot of self-criticism. And the biggest poison we do to ourselves is not through our diet. The biggest poison is our thoughts. If we're consuming thoughts of not good enough, not living with yourself, beating yourself up, being angry with us, that's consuming toxicity. That's making you sick. So the greatest poison is these thoughts. They're very harmful. Thoughts are not benign. They have an impact. We just need to continue to relax, to realize there is a way out, that the real you is spirit, soul, consciousness. It's infinitely creative and it knows ways to move forward. But it's very difficult to move from the intuitive voice because the mind wants to figure everything out, wants to know the whole details, the whole plan. And spirit doesn't work this way. Spirit is saying, take this next step. And it's only giving you one step as well, because life is fluid. Conditions are always changing. This is why when we map out plans, they don't quite work out the way we expected, because we're looking at life as a static, that everything's going to go according to plan, no hiccups. It's just going to go smooth in this direction. Life does not go smooth. Life goes all over the place. And we need to be like water, to be fluid, to adapt to those situations. So I normally don't like to talk a lot because this is a very intellectual exercise. We want to have that direct experience of being spirit, soul, consciousness. So let's take a moment here to do a little practice to release these mental addictions, these thoughts, these stories that are not serving us. So just, it doesn't matter how you're sitting, holding your hands, you could be laying down, you could be walking. It really does not matter. But if you're not walking, then close your eyes to let go of the external stimulations. If you are walking, just start noticing all the details around you. If you pass a bush, a tree, stop for this practice and begin to notice every leaf, every branch, every stem, and feel yourself really deeply connecting with this plant. For you and the plant are the same essence, that you came from the same place, the same source. So engage your sensations with that plant and notice everything about it. And notice how the mind usually just walks by and dismisses, but now is the time to be fully observant. If you're here sitting, just close those eyes, allow yourself to relax. Allow yourself to hear this voice and realize there's no separation between this voice and your listening. For it is one stream of energy, one stream of consciousness. Where the separation comes from is trying to interpret the words, trying to make sense of the words. We just want to listen. We're not trying to figure out anything. So if the mind gets busy, we don't judge, we don't criticize. We just come back to feeling our feet on the floor. And if you're observing a plant, you just come back and you touch a leaf, a branch, and notice the sensation. Is it rough, smooth, hot, cold? And really start to tune into that. That's what we're doing here, is just tuning into this experience. I'm sitting, I'm relaxing. There's soft music playing in the background. Life can be very simple, but my mental addictions are making it difficult, complex, convincing me that the story, the answer is out there someplace. The mind believes that it does not have the answer, so it's always reading videos, workshops, constantly chasing outside of itself for the answers. We just simply need to relax, knowing that we're connected to all that is. We're just trusting our insights to come just right at the right time for us in our journey of this human experience. Once again, the complexity is you consuming your thoughts that the answer is out there, that this recipe is difficult, that it requires lots of hard work. We will let go of all that and consume none of these thoughts that do not serve us. The mind is a tool. It doesn't need to drag us around all over the place like it normally does. We're in charge when we're here in this moment. If you feel emotionally unsettled with stress, anxiety, worry, it's simply an indication you're consuming the mental thoughts. You need to go on a thought diet, if you will, by just being here in this moment. That's all it's required of us, is to be here, to listen, to trust ourselves, then take action from this deeper place. And if you're observing a plant, a tree, nature, like a walking meditation, just fully engage your sensations. The more you're here, not trying to interpret what you're seeing, but just seeing the beauty of all things. Like not trying to identify the trees, the birds, the animals. You're just noticing without labels. Because when we put a label to something, we've actually left the moment momentarily. So we don't want to leave the moment. We just want to notice the beauty that's all around here. So continue to relax for another minute or 10 seconds. If you just sat 1 minute a day, not consuming thoughts and just being fully aware, people would not recognize you a month from now. You'll be putting more gaps into the thought stream, more peace, less busyness. They'll probably notice that you're more present with them, more at peace, not disturbed by the situations. For we begin to know ourselves as perfect spirit, as soul, as consciousness. Not an intellectual exercise, but knowing yourself as the observer. So we just want to continue to relax and just simply open our eyes when the moment feels right. And just notice that you're alive, that you're living in the body, that you are life itself. Whether the body's here or not, your essence is still here. So we want to keep coming back and back and back. So if there's any questions about mental addiction that I can answer for you, let me know. What situations are you encountering that's becoming a challenge to stay present to? And there are lots of challenges. You may not be able to get yourself back to this moment very quickly. So you may be wrapped up in something for an hour, a half day, a week. It doesn't matter how long the mind has captured you, if you will. Just when you notice, you don't judge, you don't criticize yourself, you just come back to this moment and realize there's no mistakes in the universe. Everything has the potential to be a teaching, an opportunity to grow. So to Zane, yeah, this is a good question, Zane. Yeah, let's show this. Was it mental addiction that kept the MS in your body for so long? Yes, because when you get this MS diagnosis, you start reading things. It's like you start reading that's incurable. That's one of the big stories, that this is incurable. You have to live with it forever. So you start to begin to consume that as your truth. When you see, now this is just my temporary experience. How can I be present to this? And what is my next step forward to change this direction? So when I was dealing with healing MS, I was just really trusting my intuitive voice. One day it simply said, do yoga. I didn't question it. I didn't debate it, because my mind could have said I could never do yoga. My balance is poor. I can't do this. I'm not flexible. Blah, blah, blah. The stories would just keep on going. That's the mental addiction, taking that as your truth. But when the voice said, do yoga, I just signed up the next day. And then a few days later, I started taking yoga class. I didn't debate it. There was no debate. Spirit said to do this. I did that. When we're consumed by the thoughts as our truth, we debate our own intuition, and that keeps us stuck. And we don't want to debate those insights. We just want to learn how to execute those steps. So when Spirit said do yoga, had to find the yoga studio, done. Had to show up to yoga class, done. Had to do the practice, yes. And it's just a matter of saying, just doing those little steps of not debating. Let me see. It's it's great, Judith. Yes, it's gone now. Yeah, because nothing has to be our permanent reality. Yeah, it's gone now. That's the big secret. Nothing it has to be our permanent reality. It's the mind that makes it so, that locks it into place. I've met numerous people where I shared my story and they said I could never do that, and they walk away because they're just so locked into that this is their permanent reality. And it doesn't have to be this way. Yeah, Judith said, I never acknowledged it. Okay, there's another. Yeah, Judith was saying, I never acknowledged rheumatoid arthritis. Deepak Chopra said something on this. He likes to say, accept the diagnosis, but not the prognosis. Say, all right, the body has this, but I'm not the body. How can I mend the body? We don't need to worry about figuring it out, just trusting the steps that arise. Now let's see what we got here. Another question. Maha77, why is fear of the future such a huge mental addiction? I free myself during the day, then the next morning it's there and it's fullness once again. Yes, because the mind hates and protests constantly against not knowing. It's our default programming that we have to know. And to be okay with not knowing is a continuous practice of reassuring yourselves that Spirit knows the way. Spirit knows where I'm going. The mind's going to do what the mind does. But I keep trusting my spirit. Maybe that's part of the answer is you just notice that the mind's once again worried about the future. Just reassure yourself that your spirit, it doesn't matter ultimately what happens in the future. Because whatever is going to happen is happening for your benefit, for your growth. But we don't need to figure things out. We just need to let it unfold and ensure that we are taking those steps from spirit. And what's coming to me in Maha 77 is, what's your spirit saying on this? Realize that you know that you know. What's the story? Why does it keep coming back? If it's keep coming back, there might be a lesson there to learn. So observe that and just notice, I'm releasing this and it's coming back. Why? What have I missed in this lesson? That's one way to look at it. Okay. Zan, Zan, first thing don't get rid of it. There's nothing to get rid of. Because you got to realize when you're, say this is arthritis, this is you, I want to get rid of this. So you're pushing it away. It makes it really sticky. So when Judith was saying she doesn't acknowledge it, you don't acknowledge it, it sort of drops away. So just by noticing your attentions on it is actually making it stronger. That's why I remind everybody, the true energy of transformation is peace. Being at peace with the pain, the suffering, not demanding it to go away, but just realize it will fade away on its own. This may make no sense to you, but it will fade away because you're giving attention sticky. If you're keeping at peace, it sort of drifts away. And it's not going to drift away, but just by itself, you're going to get insights from spirit to do this, because you're your own healer. But your healing wisdom comes through in the silence, not through trying to figure it out. That's the key difference, is not trying to figure it out, not giving it attention, acknowledging it. And there's an exercise you can do to this. I probably have it on, I know I have a video out there, I don't know what it's titled, but about breathing into that joint, that pain, and being like your own alchemist, if you will, to release the discomfort. So anything else here? Okay, this is interesting. Okay, I don't know what's going on because I'm too blind that I miss the signs, and I'm too deaf that I hear lies. It's just when I'm reading the Aina, the first thing that comes to me is that you're not being fully present to this moment. So you're just caught up in the addiction of busyness, that I have all these tasks to accomplish, all this to doing energy. And you just need to take a few minutes, give yourself a timeout, and just have a small practice of staying present every day. And I just began with 5 minutes. 5 minutes of noticing the thoughts. And just notice when I was caught in thoughts. And just bring myself back to my feet. For me, it was my feet. It's just like busy, see feet. It can be forehead, it can be breath. We just want to bring back yourself and start developing that presence of being fully aware of this moment. If you're always caught in this mental addiction, these lies, as you call them, these stories, it's just not going to let go and not going to snap out of it. It's a small practice of just keep coming back and back and back, and eventually the mind will relent, will ease up. There won't be as many thoughts. It's just a practice of staying present. It's All right, I'm not seeing any other questions here. So I have a few minutes for some readings. But we just want to feel the peace that's always here in this moment. Listen to the quiet. When you're feeling yourself really busy, notice the quiet. You can think of it as music. If music didn't have any gaps into the notes, the pauses, it wouldn't be music, it would be a buzzsaw of noise. And maybe life is a buzzsaw of noise for you. So you need to dive below the noise, and notice the peace that is there within you, within that situation. And simply coming back to being aware of this moment. Oh, hi, Kat. So lots of people here. I got just a little bit of time for a few messages if there's messages people need. But let's just, if you have questions for the spiritual realms, let me know. I think it's more important than a general reading today. So I have about 5-10 minutes to get through some readings, but I want to take questions today. No general readings today. These are questions. Oh, you're welcome, Zan. Thanks for joining. I'm here every Sunday at this time. We want to sort of our day in a positive way because that sets the whole direction for the day. When you wake up smiling, happy, grateful for being alive, life flows with an ease. If you wake up like I did, what else is going to go wrong today? Life is a little messy, a little disastrous. What steps can I take to get out of my head to move forward? Let me just let me just pull a card and see what it's saying here. You're getting the fear card. Very interesting, Kathy. Are you anxious, concerned about the future? Do you find yourself worried what's going to happen? So this might be one of the blocks that you're having, is the mind is in fear. We have to understand that fear isn't real, but it's still a practice. Just whenever you notice a story about the future or what's going to happen, don't entertain that. Don't try to answer those questions. It's just mind playing its favorite game, the what if game. You just want to say, oh, there's that question again. What do I see right now? What am I touching? Do whatever you can to get yourself back into this moment. Don't allow the mind to keep playing the what if game. That's one of the biggest blocks, is the mind loves the what if game. We don't want to entertain that game. We just want to come back. No judgment, no criticism. Just feel your feet. Okay, let me see. Let's see your question. Let me scroll up a little bit. So you're asking about somebody that crossed paths this past summer. Let's see. Let me pull a card on this and see. Let me feel into it. Okay, I'm feeling that card. Let's take a look. Oh, the stars card. Rather interesting. I can take this a few different ways. So maybe this person you ran into, maybe it was just reminding you of your own strength, your own unity, that the mind loves me and them, the state of separation. We have to realize that we're all driven by the same energy, the same perfect spirit, that there's no mistakes. Things happen for reasons that we do not understand. So with the Shaman of the Stars is about unity, realizing that we're all connected to this one source, this one energy, this one perfect spirit, the oversoul, if you will. Just expressions of this. So maybe just reminding you of your own strength. I'm just feeling reminding you of your own strength, your own power. That's what I'm feeling. Well, Sandy, you can set that intention and meet him again. Maybe it's just a point in time. Maybe there's a lesson there. This person gets my attention. I need to stay in touch with him. But he escaped, if you will. So maybe there's a lesson there too. Take notice who's having an impact on your life and taking the steps to have ways to stay in contact. No, we don't promote reading. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm just taking questions today. I'll pull questions from the cards, but I don't feel like doing general readings today. I'm just here for a few more minutes, but I just feel like it's important just to answer questions today. A general reading can happen tomorrow with soul messages when I'm live tomorrow night. But we just have to understand that we know because we're connected to all that is. If we can relax, the answer will be there. Is a bar bad? I'm scared. I don't know what that means. I know bar. I don't understand. Hi, Ida. Thanks for watching. All right, just stay in a few more minutes if there's any questions here. We just want to keep being at peace. The more we're present, the more we break the addiction to trying to figure things out. And trying to figure things out creates a thought paralysis, keeps you stuck, keeps you feel like you're swimming in mud, making no progress. So I don't know why it's scared. Scared usually happens when some kind of fear is there. But what makes this fear true? All right. Ida's asking about moving. Let's take a look here. I'm filling this card on the moving. Actually, two cards came out. Let's dive into these two cards that came out for Ida. Okay, you're getting the purification card. That's about trying to figure things out. The theme of today. And with the love, the love is perfect spirit. So it's simply saying, Ida, don't figure things out. Just trust yourself. Just trust on your steps to move forward. But when you're overthinking things, it's going to create a block. So as we're getting the purification card, So you're always so if you're always state of when I'm going to be moving, you're not going to move. It's that simple. Because you'll be stuck in a loop. When am I moving? When am I moving? When am I moving? There's no resolution to that. It keeps you in the loop. So you need to let go of figuring things out and just relax. And setting the intention of this deeper place. I need a new place. And maybe some requirements around that. And you just let it go. Then you just trust any insights that come up to take that step forward, to make that a reality. Yes, people do turn to substances as the way to numb their thoughts, to numb the pain, to numb their suffering. But every addiction starts in our thoughts. Something isn't being met. There's a lack in the mind. So it tries to fill that lack in other ways. But we are lacking nothing. We know that we know. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. So then it seems it's a little more urgent. But I still would not try to figure things out. I would try to relax. And you may get this eureka, this answer, this synchronicity. It just happens. You cannot explain the synchronicity. You just get quiet, you just set your intentions, and it happens. Like I'm living in New York City right now. But the 6 months prior, I was at a conference, still living in Pennsylvania, but I had business cards made up for the conference that had a New York address. I didn't try to figure it out, didn't plan New York, but it happened. We just got to set our intention and trust that it will become so. And taking those steps that come from that. See, it's really difficult though. It can be really difficult when there's a pressing situation and something needs to happen. But the more uptight, the more tense you are about it, it really creates a blocking energy. We need to stay present to the best of our ability and just really trust that. I think you're going to get a eureka answer. Synchronicity is going to happen. And there's a potential to move a lot quicker if you can just relax and surrender to your perfect spirit. This will know the ways. This is your also connection to your past loved ones. And they will orchestrate things on the other side. Hard to explain that, but that is the other side, past loved ones, will orchestrate based on your intentions. All right, this is probably the last question for today for Kathy here. It's getting late. Could you pull a card for me about Kevin? Let me pull this up because it's come from different places. What do I need to know about this connection? All right, let's tap in. Let me feel a card. Okay, here we go. Connection. Interesting. The sorrows card. Why the sorrows card when Kevin? Sorrows can mean a few different things. I'm not getting 100% clarity which one it is. Sorrow sometimes is letting go to allow a new opportunity to come in. The sorrows could be you see something, but it's not meant to be. So that's the two situations I'm seeing. Maybe you're seeing something promising with Kevin, yet within you, you know it's not meant to be. The other scenario is that you see Kevin, but to have the connection with Kevin, something needs to be let go, something needs to be dropped away to make space. That's the two scenarios that I'm seeing. Okay, well, thanks for joining me today. I'll be back next week, and take good care of yourself. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Keep on smiling, keep on enjoying life, realizing that you're alive and that you have all the power. Take good care of yourself. Bye for now.